Hello, hello, and welcome to the 7 a.m. Motivation Hour. I'm your host, Welbon Omar Salaam, and today I thought to change the topic up and focus on overcoming adversity, overcoming obstacles. This is one of the things that, oh, this is one of the things that I was speaking to my wife about this morning, right? How to overcome obstacles. I had watched a YouTube video about um, this man who was standing at a staircase. He had a trampoline underneath him, right? And his trampoline, it just looked like a normal floor until he fell on it and then he bounced back up. I hope that I can find this piece. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can find it. Trampoline, staircase, overcoming obstacles. There we are. Johan Burgess. I can't say it. I hope hope I didn't mess it up. What success looks like. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and share our screen immediately so you can see what I saw. Okay? Oh, that's loud. Okay. I'm gonna unmute that. I'm gonna start it over, and then we're gonna share our screen here. hmm hmm All right, here we go. Excuse me. And here we go. So he falls off the first time. As he walks up to the one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh stair, he falls off again. Back down to the fifth stair. Go up to the seventh stair. He falls off again. Back down to the fifth stair. Up to the eighth stair. He falls off. Seventh stair. He goes to the top stair. He's at the top stair now. He falls off the top stair. Back to the seventh stair. Back to the third stair. Falls off. Now he's all the way down to he's up to the fifth stair. I can't say it right. All right. And to the third stair. Now he runs up to the third to top stair. He's at the top stair now. And he falls off again. He jumps off. Then he falls. Now he's falling from the top stair. And he's trying to get to the top stair, but he's only trying to get to the top stair. And he keeps falling, 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 trying to get to the top stair. Only the top stair he's looking at. And he's almost down. And he's reaching. Now he's reaching. And he's pushing. And he's kicking off of the whole entire structure. Kicking off, still reaching, still reaching. He's almost to the top stair. He's reaching, he's reaching, he's reaching, he's reaching, he's reaching, reaching, still bouncing, reaching, bouncing, reaching, bouncing, reaching. Almost there. And he's there. He never had to take a step on the stair again. All he did was go to the top. He focused on where he knew he was at the top stair. That's all he focused on, getting to that top stair. He never again looked at the bottom stairs again. He had overcome them. It's a very powerful scene. It's called Johan Burgess Captivates Audience with a powerful performance about life. And somebody else said that it was, I gotta get it. Somebody else said that it was this is what success looks like. All right. I'm gonna read it. It's a YouTube short, but I'm gonna read the actual YouTube short. And they said They said artist Johan Burgess was captured on video climbing stairs and falling onto a trampoline, which continually launched him back onto the staircase. This is what success in life looks like. Success comes from many failures and ups and downs. The lesson, keep moving forward. So the original video was shot by Matthew Stern. When you make better choices, you will live a better life, so choose well. So that's nice. And I had first learned that I first watched that on the Choose Well program. So go check him out, the Choose Well program. I'm gonna subscribe. Okay. All right, let's get into our talk today. Okay. But yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about when first I first woke up this morning. I was drinking a cup of coffee, talking to my wife, and that's what popped up, the image in my mind um, of that trampoline and the staircase. So, what do we want to teach today? I know we left off yesterday by talking about God, family, and business. Let me stop sharing my screen. Oh, wait. Did I not share my screen the entire time? No. Interesting. All right. So, yesterday we were talking about God, family, and business. All right. And today we're going to talk about how this relates to our next topic. Well, we know God's the Most High, and we're under that. Family goes underneath that. Business goes underneath that. Okay. In that order. And without God, we don't have a family and we don't have a business. Everything is faith-based. I have a faith-based business. So, so we look at how to motivate other people to get to their goals. That's what I'm looking at. And when I look at how to motivate others, I created a creed. I said, my purpose, well, my number one purpose is to worship God. So I'm put the word worship at the top. Okay. And my number one goal for my family is to provide for my family. All right. And in my business is my number one goal in my business is to um there's a word for it. I'm losing the word, but it's basically to support um service. That's the only word I can think of. Service. Provide service. Value. These words are coming to mind. But my creed I came up with is to live in the positive growth. No, excuse me. To live in the service and positive growth of other people. Now, why do I say other people? Well, other people would be my customers. Other people would be my family. And the Most High, the entity that created us all, I want to live like He wants me to live. Okay. and be good to my neighbor. So I'm worshiping him doing that. So I accomplish all three by my creed that I created, that I was inspired and aspired to achieve. And it's not just an achievement and yeah, we're done. No, it's a lifelong journey and a service, an act. Um, so anything I've learned, how do I do that? How do I accomplish this mission? Uh, anything that I've learned, which is my skill set. Well, let's go in order. Let's go in order. So up at the top, I need to become mindful and knowledgeable about my Lord. How can I worship him if I don't know about him, his attributes, his qualities? Okay. Now, uh, that's under my Lord, under worship. Now, to provide for my family, I need to become skillful. No, before even skillful, I need to become humble, humble, have humility. See, I used to think of the word humble in a negative light until I realized humble is a root word. No, excuse me. It's not a root word. Humble is a word likened to humility. Humility has a root, a Latin root of hu, human. Let's go to the boards here. Root word of humility. The root word of humility. Okay, all right. I wanted to get it right. I didn't want to get it wrong. The root word humility is the Latin word humilitas, which means low or grounded. Humilitas is related to the adjective humilis, which can also mean from the earth. The word humans is a Latin word, humus is a Latin word for earth or rich soil. So humility is a state of being humble or feeling small and insignificant in comparison to others. It can also mean putting others' needs before one's own. So if I put their needs before my own, I live in the service and the positive growth of other people. So that's where I'm not gonna say humble. I'm gonna say humility. Humility. See, humility allows me to put myself below or after someone else's needs. And when I do that, I create a sense of value for other people. So, just thinking this out right now, we have humility and then honesty. We talked about honesty yesterday. When we wake up, honesty leads to gratitude. So, humility, honesty, and now from God, I get provision. Provision. And provision is how I provide to my family. I'm humble. So when I'm humble, I can seek knowledge by being a student. I'm honest, so I can work, and honest work gets honest pay. And that leads to my provision, and my provision comes directly from my Lord. Excuse me, I'm drawing a lot of arrows here. My provision comes directly from my Lord. You don't have to draw this many arrows. All right. So, last but not least, once I have all that, and I have my family, and I'm worshiping my Lord, and I'm mindful, and I'm knowledgeable, and I'm humble, and I'm honest, and I have provision, now I get to now I'm whole. Still a little piece of me missing because I'm not I don't have my business going, right? So I'm just talking about work, 9 to 5. 9 to 5. I still believe in 9 to 5. Okay. And I'll talk about that on another topic. Uh, but if man does not work, man does not contribute, he does not provide, he cannot maintain, therefore he cannot secure his fold. And we must do that as men. Now, as God ordained, value and service provided to who? Our customer, our customer, our client in our business. So it comes from my skills, talents, and abilities. We talked yesterday about abilities, you being able to solve problems. When you're able to solve problems, your direct the value that you are to the marketplace increases the more you learn. So your abilities, and it says your talents will make room for you. That's what it says in the Bible. That's what it says in the gospel. And in the, hold on, let me move that out of the way. Skills. I've also learned that if you chop a piece of wood down in a forest, if you chop a tree down in the forest and you chop it up, put the wood on your back and go sell it in the marketplace, that is sufficient. Okay? That is accepted by your Lord. That I learned that in Islam. In Islam. Okay? There are ways to keep bread on the table. Now I call that your 9 to 5. Anything outside of that would be your direct business. Even that could be your business, okay? But if it's working for someone else, then that's your job. But if you're working for yourself, that's your business. Because your job is just somebody else's business, all right? Um, your skills, talents, and abilities. These right here keep you relevant in the marketplace. As long as you're upgrading your skills, focusing on your God-given talents, and it creates the ability to solve others' problems, and they pay you for that. That's why it says God, family, then business. You have to get you have to get your spiritual correct, your family life correct, that's personal, and then your business life correct. That's on the last tier. That's why they don't start their businesses till later in life. Maybe sometimes it's out of fear, sometimes it's out of not having enough money, but I believe it's mindset. Your mind isn't there on what you're supposed to be doing and getting serious about life until you're like 40. I mean, I know most guys are like that. I don't know about, women. I know that guys, myself, I'm 39 years old. I started my first business when I was 19. That was 20 years ago. But did I Was I teaching anything back then? No. I just had my talents and I had a little bit of skills, just a little bit. I hadn't formed any abilities yet to solve other people's problems. I had, to be honest, hold on. To be honest, I had four products back in the day. Four products. My first business. It was called Expressed Thoughts. All right. Expressed Thoughts. And this is age 19. Me at age 19. I had Expressed Thoughts. We had four products. We had poetry. We had portraits. We had literature. And we had greeting cards. All right. And a lot of my poetry flowed into the greeting cards, and my literature was autobiographies. Oh, actually, it was short stories. Short stories. But the customization was autobiographies. So that was the service. The product, P, was the short stories. The service were autobiographies. So if somebody wanted to have me write their autobiography, I would give them tapes and let them record themselves, and then I just type it up. Uh, your, I had my product was the greeting cards. That was the greeting cards. That was the product, and then custom, the service, custom greeting cards, custom GC. That was the service. Portraits. I drew my own portraits, right? I drew mountains. I like drawing mountains, landscapes, and whatever I thought was nice. Okay. But the service was I can draw your portrait like a self. No, not a self, because that's somebody drawing themselves, but a portrait, like a photo, a locket. I took somebody's locket and I drew what I saw in the locket, and poetry. My product was framed poetry with a nice background. I remember my first framed piece of poetry had uh, the windows, um, misty mountains. It was the misty mountains, the blue misty mountains. Excuse me. Uh, in the background of when you go into Windows XP or uh, uh, it says my pictures. In my documents, it has my pictures, and in there are four pictures in there, four that are already in there. I grabbed that one of those. I used every single one of those because I didn't know about pictures back then. I didn't know about going online and getting pictures from Google. Google wasn't even out yet, right? No, it was out maybe like 2 years, but I wasn't searching online for pictures and backdrops. But anyhow, uh, yeah. So look, I had framed poetry, and then the service was custom framed poetry. I just put the word custom on it so that people can make it their own. And that was all the rage back in the day, making things your own. I think Zazzle had first came out. Shout out to Zazzle.com. Oh my gosh. I looked at them as like the Vistaprint of that time, right? And they were customizing everything. You could customize a plate, a bowl, a spoon, a fork, not a spoon or a fork, but like a mug. And I was like, wow, you can do that? I can do that. And so I used to go in the mall and sell out, literally. Go in there with framed poetry and greeting cards galore of my own making. And then I'd go in and get some bags from the mall, come back out, load up with two bags full of my framed poetry and greeting cards. I'd go in, I'd order myself some lo mein, okay, or uh, rice and shrimp and rice. I'd sit down and eat. In fact, I'd even order something for Orange Julius, some a drink or something, just to be there without bothering anyone, you know. I'd sit down and I'd just start looking at my art, start pulling my art out. Wow, that looks nice. And instead of putting it back in the bag, I'd sit it on the table. I go back in the bag and I'd look at another piece of poetry. Oh wow, I'm just reading my poetry and eating. And I made it my own experience. And people will walk up and say, "Wow, what's this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's my art. That's my poetry." "Oh wow, wow. Are you selling this?" I'm like, "Yeah, if you want to buy it." I didn't say, "Hey, this is for sale." I'm not chucking it at people. So I didn't make a fuss. It was a subtle art of advertising, subtle form of advertising, and it worked. I'd leave the mall with nothing in my bags. And that was me at 19. Fast forward 20 years. Now, after being a graphic designer, being a senior graphic designer, being a director of operations, being a creative director, I became a recruiting director of a staffing agency, staffing. Everything in here is creative. I would say creative, and this is staffing. And all along these, I was in my IT career. So I was doing two professions at once, information tech, over the course of 20 years. So oh yeah. And on the backside of that, I've always had a business. So business owner. So that kind of rounded me out in life. And I started writing books on branding, something I had always done, and marketing. So I have three books on branding and marketing. The first of which, let's go ahead and erase this, is the, oh yeah, We want to say now age 38. I was 38. No, I was 37. No, wait a minute. That's my latest book. Let's go back. 2019. I published it in 2019. That was 5 years ago. Guys, I was 34. At age 34, I wrote The Secrets to Creating a Successful Brand in 2020. Why did I say 2020? It was 2019 when I wrote it. I said 2020, and I really wanted to say in the 2020s or in the 20s, but nobody was referring to 2020 as the 20s yet. But after 2029 and it turns 2030, I believe they're going to call it the 20s. And then they're going to call the 2030s the 30s. But no one calls it that until it starts to become a progression following the succession of decades. Okay. It's not a thing until it's a thing, you know? All right. So I wrote that book and it was literally only like 25 pages long. I went back and I rewrote it uh in in for the hardcover edition just last year. And I made it 75 pages. Okay. And I have like activities in it that you can take actionable steps um to go toward your goal, right? But then someone reached out to me, Audible reached out to me from ACX and said, "Hey, do you want to turn this into a Audible book?" I said, "Wow, really? We can do that?" So I had hundreds of auditions for my book, and I couldn't pick. I could not pick who to, speak my book. And just this year, I believe like maybe last week actually, I picked Johnny Unitas. So shouts out to Johnny Unitas. He is the voice of my book. Uh, and he is worldwide. I mean, he is, let's see, Johnny. Oops, just wanted to shout him out. hmm Computer's running a little slow. There we go. All right. Share, share my screen. And his name is Johnny Unitas. Okay. And that's funny because I always thought that Johnny Unitas was a football player. Correct. But also, he might have just picked that as a stage name. That's what I thought. But JohnnyUnitas.com. Maybe it's just with one N. Hmm. All right. One second. Let me see X. Johnny Unitas, just without. Oh, really? Oh, he just said he just completed it. Look at that. Oh, wow. I'm just talking about it and he knocked it out. So over anything, and we can go back. This is literally my ACH board right here. We can go back, right? All the way back to last activity to 2020. People have been submitting in 2020. And I really could not decide because I had so many auditions, right? Hundreds of auditions for this book. And it just made it so very confusing. Um, it just made me what is the word? Like a deer in headlights. You don't want to be a deer in headlights, so you'll waste time. And I wasted 4 years, almost 5 years, when I could have had this book done already. So just the word to the wise, if you have something you want to do it. Just jump in, learn along the way. Okay? Nobody's gonna fault you for learning along the way. Learn as you earn. Okay? So yeah, guys, y'all can, I believe you can check out the book on, I'm not even going to go over it. I know he has great work. He just completed the book, my projects in production, review checkpoint, approve checkpoint. I'm just going to approve that because I know he's awesome. I've listened to him work. Okay. Okay. So this is the time. This is waiting for another time. It's completed your book. Says it's not uploaded for me to listen to, but I approved the 15-minute checkpoint. Guess it's waiting on you now. Yep. Because he said, if there's anything you need to change in the 15-minute sample, I'll upload the separated chapters once you approve the sample. Let's get this book out there to the masses. Look at that. Get somebody on in your corner. Get somebody that's on your team rooting for you. I had many conversations with Johnny and understood that he was passionate about this as much as myself. So I split it 50-50 with him. I don't mind. Okay? Send. So now he's gonna do his thing. All right. But yeah, definitely check out acx.com after you upload your books. Everybody to to get your book on Audible. You can either pay the person. Well, I'll go in depth in one of these talks. Right now, it's just the motivation hour, but I'll go in depth in one of these talks about ACX and how everything can get done. I'll teach a class on it. How about that? So look out for the ACX class, how to get your book on Audible, um, soon in my Eco Entrepreneurs classroom. All right. In fact, I'll write that down so I don't forget it. Teach. Hmm. Don't have a pen when I need it. I'll write it up here. Oh, got one. Nope, thought that was a pen. Teach how to get your book on Audible. It's going to be a class I put in my classroom. All right. So let's move on. I also wrote another book, as you can see right here, my projects in production, mastering the market, a dual approach to client and customer engagement. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. There we go. All right. So it is called mastering. I can go ahead and erase this. Now, at age 38, I wrote mastering the market. And actually, I wrote a book in German, but I'm really not going to talk about that because this is not you're not my German audience. But most of the world's videographers are in Germany or German. So I knew my target audience and I put it in German. Okay. It's just videography strategies. Marketing videography strategies. Okay. Strategy buck. All right. So mastering the market, a dual approach. How to spell approach? Oh my gosh. I know how to spell approach. To client and customer engagement. Now, this right here was for my corporate customers. The first one was how to create a successful brand. So those were my entrepreneurs. I wrote this book for corporations that had clients, had customers, and don't know how to scale from there and don't know how to engage because they don't know how to engage with both of these groups, the differences between them, what sets them apart, and how to identify what your engagement looks like with both groups to scale your business. So when you when you get this book, it's going to be a little bit longer. Okay, it's going to say 380 pages, but really it was 500 pages. All right. Uh, Kindle does this thing where they do parts and stuff like that, so it looks like smaller than it is. Thank God. I packed a lot in there. But it took me a while to figure out exactly what I wanted to say. So it took me few years to figure out what I wanted to say. Um, Now you can get that first book on Audible in a few days. All right. And this one's going to be done in a few weeks. Okay. And his name is Rich. The guy who's going to be speaking this book is his name is Rich Brennan. Brennan. Okay. You go look up Rich Brennan. Oh, and I'm sorry. I forgot to show y'all share. Share screen. I forgot to show y'all Johnny. Johnny. is with no H. Unite us. There we are. Voiceover talent. And this is him right here. Excuse me. Warm voice, big heart. And he's worked with clients like Google, Ritz, NBC Universal, Blue Apron, Cash App, Lumen, Major, Kick Animation, Brand New World, Buy, Amberjack, Keon Systems, Pathful, Royston, Nuvolo, Fingent, DN Audio, National On Demand, and ePlan. And also, Welbon Work. It puts my puts my logo in there. I'll ask him. Okay. And now we have Rich Brennan. Richbrennan. Gosh, Rich Brennan is a hockey player. And Johnny Unitas was a football player. And then something, their names come from sports. That's funny. That's funny. But all right, so we're gonna do the voiceover talent, Rich Brennan, voice over talent, and find him that way. Rich Brennan is a reliable and detail-oriented male voice actor from the New York City area who provides broadcast quality voiceovers for commercials, radio voice imaging, narrations, e-learning, podcast, intro, outro, announcements, audio books, which is ours, on-hold messages, and voice prompts. Okay, that's our guy right there on a Just My Voice production. He is Rich Brennan. So you can reach him at justmyvoice.com. And he's been doing this for He's been doing this for, I'm trying to find out how long, but it sounded great to me. Oh, 30 years. He's a retired volunteer firefighter, 30 plus years. Oh no, he hasn't been doing voiceover 30 years. He's been a firefighter for 30 years. But yeah, y'all will see. Y'all are gonna see. Just listen out on Audible for these books. Mastering the Market, a dual approach to client and customer engagement. And it's going to be under Rich Brennan. It's going to be under Welbon Omar Salaam. And look out for the secrets to creating a successful brand in 2020. It's going to be under Johnny Unitas. It's going to be under Welbon Omar Salaam. And also, I have one more book, but that one's not going to be on Audible. This is a book for children. I always had a lifelong dream of doing a children's book, and that one is actually called. Gosh, this is really messing with my. Okay, microphone was messing up. Doing a children's book, and the name of that children's book is called. Let me write it down for you. And still at age 38, right? I created this book, and I'll put it on the board. It's called The Rainbow Castle Book. Okay, no, not my Rainbow Castle book, not to be confused with my Rainbow Castle book. It's the Rainbow Castle book. So we're going to put it in quotes here. There we are. From Bouncy Castles. gonna go ahead and copy that and put it back in. Paste. There we are. It's available on Amazon, available on American Book Warehouse. It's available. Uh, you can find the link to it on Goodreads. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and click on our Amazon. Okay. And there it goes. So the Rainbow Castle, first enchanting gateway of the Bouncy Castle series. Here, each page is not just a visual adventure, right? But a canvas for your child's imagination. This book isn't merely to be read, it is to be lived, colored, and creatively authored. Designed for ages 5 to 15, the Rainbow Castle book presents detailed illustrations, each poised to spark a unique story. With no pre-written narratives, these pages invite young minds to explore, dream, and craft their own tales amidst rainbows and turrets. The journey unfolds further with an innovative twist. After each coloring page, a blank-lined page beckons, offering space for the stories inspired by the colored rooms. As children journey through the castle, they not only bring the pages to life with colors, but also with their words, turning each room into a chapter of their own making. By the book's end, your child will have not only a collection of beautifully colored scenes, but also a series of stories written by their own hand. The Rainbow Castle book transcends a typical book, typical coloring book. It becomes a personalized anthology of adventures, a cherished record of your child's growing imagination. Are you ready to embark on this creative journey and discover the tales that await within each room of the Rainbow Castle? Join us for more adventures in the Bounce Castle series. So that's the description on Amazon. And not only did we do that, but we started creating more. And when I say we, I mean me and my children. We created more books. So they're to come. And you can get this you can get this in paperback, but the hardback is coming off of Ingram Spark. Okay, very soon. So that is all I wanted to share with you today. We're gonna cut this a little short. We're not gonna go exactly to 8 o'clock because I have to start working on some other things today. But please join us on school. All right? Join us on school and discover these communities. Okay? Discover the Eco Entrepreneurs community. Um, we have a lot packed in here, and this is just for entrepreneurs. We are currently creating the eco corporates, eco corporates, and I'm not just going to say it anymore. Create a community, group name, eco corporates. It's available. Huh? Look at that. I'm gonna make that. Okay. Am I even signed in? Yeah, I'm signed in. We're gonna make it. All right. So stay tuned. In the meantime, jump in the classroom, learn something new. Okay. We have partners by One Tree Planted. We have a 9-day masterclass, how to grow your brand as an entrepreneur. For new members, how to grow financially. No, no, excuse me. New member onboarding and how to grow green in your company are all included, and as well as the say 7 a.m. classes is a recap on the classes that we've had, but also goes into depth and um, uh, teaches you what you need to know, what you need to know based on our 7 a.m. classes that we hold here in the morning. And it's not just a motivational hour. I know I say that it's a motivational hour, but it's not just motivation. I try to give you more in. more in the realm of inspiration and instruction, because I see myself somewhat of a teacher, not just a motivational speaker. Okay? So until then, see you later. Hope you join us. I'll put the link in the description on how to join Eco Entrepreneurs and how to create your own school. We'll go over that in another video. God bless you. Hope you have a great day and take care. Thank you for joining us. Bye.